welcome to my journey into another Weight Watchers meal prep. Now, today I had a weird thing going on with my soup and the points and the servings. So that one's going to be left up to you to figure out. We talked about it at the end. Figure out your own serving sizes, how many servings you get, how many points you are, how many noodles you use, all that good stuff. But for breakfast, I made a country breakfast bowl. Simple, easy. And for lunch, lasagna soup. It's made in the crock pot. So I didn't give you any times today because when I got that ready and in the crock pot, I could have given you a time of prep time. But, I took a little cup of coffee over there, watched some Criminal Minds. Then I come over and did my potatoes. They have to bake a while, you know, all that. So I've taken a leisurely morning, but I am through now. It's still only 10:30, so that's not bad. I did start early, only because I had 4 hours to go in the crock pot. But at 10:30 and I'm through, and I've already started editing this video, I'm still going to have the remainder of my day to do whatever it is I want to do. So, with all that being said, let's turn around and get started cooking. We're going to start on our lasagna soup because it has to go in the crock pot. So the first thing we want to do is cook our hamburger. You need a pound of hamburger. And I'm using 93%. Use whatever you want. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken. Just a pound of ground meat. And a large onion, and I have a lot already chopped. So there's that, and I'm not sure if it's in my recipe or not, but I like to season the meat when I remember, because the dish is seasoned, so I think the meat should be seasoned. So I'm going to let this cook. And while it's cooking, I'm going to get up our ingredients for the soup. Right quick, I forgot to add a tablespoon or two of garlic. So, there's that. Now, I know you can hear my hamburger in the background because I turned it up on high because I like to ball out that moisture that comes off of the beef. So, we're going to start on the soup part. We need, my recipe on the website says 14 ounces, but they're 15-ounce cans, so I don't know if that was a typo or if that was the size they came in at the time. But it's a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. If you have 14-ounce, that's fine. That's fine, too. And then this is a 14.5-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, so 14, 15, what you can find. I think I will rinse that out. We need 1 can of chicken broth, and I'm going to rinse that out to get the rest of that tomato, because why not? And before I add the water, I want to add the tomato paste because I want to get it blended in. And it'd be a little bit easier. I should have done it with maybe just the tomato sauce or something like that before I put the chicken broth in. It just makes it a little easier to incorporate when you have less liquid. But we'll do all right. So I want to just whisk this, like I said, to get that tomato paste mixed in. And if you'll hold on a second, I'm going to go over there and chop up my hamburger. Alright, the hamburger's done, so we'll just finish this. Then you need 2 cups of water. And our seasonings are 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, 2 teaspoons dried basil, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of the beef bouillon powder, and salt and pepper to taste. Okay, now let me go get the hamburger. We will just add this in. Now this goes for 4 hours on, let me see if it's low or high. I think it's low. 4 hours on high or 8 hours on low. And since I'm doing this for meal prep and I want to get it done and have my Saturday, I'm going to do the 4 hours on high. So now I'm going to clean this up and then we'll go over there and make our topping. The topping couldn't be easier. We need 8 ounces of reduced, well, I'm using, let's see, reduced, they call it reduced fat, made with part skim milk. I need 8 ounces. Oh, I thought this was a 16-ounce container. So let's get our trusty scale out. I guess that's one of those shrinkflation deals, wouldn't you say? Because I'm pretty sure stuff like this used to come in a nice even 16 ounces. So I could guesstimate it, but I don't know about my guesstimator in whether it's 15. I know how to do half 8.2. That's close enough. I'm not putting it back in the the thing. And then we need a 1/3 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. I got the Kraft. It was a substitution. I was going for the store brand, but they didn't have it. So anyway, a 1/3 cup. I'm not sure how many ounces that is, but since this is so dry, I'm just going to go ahead and measure a 1/3 cup. Okay. And then our seasonings are 2 teaspoons of dried basil, and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. Let me put these on there before I accidentally knock them over. Well, sir. Okay, and then we just need to stir all this together into one nice little, whatever the word I'm looking for. Now I will just put this in a bowl in the refrigerator and just use it as I eat my soup. And we'll talk about how much you put on it and whatnot when we wrap up. So since my soup has 4 hours to go, I do have some potatoes to bake or to roast, which will probably take around an hour, but I got plenty of time for a second cup of coffee. So when we come back, we'll be starting on breakfast. First thing for our country breakfast bowls is to bake our potatoes. And like I said on my menu plan, I wasn't sure how many ounces of potatoes I was going to use, so I wasn't sure how to point it. This is the bowl I'm going to use for all my preps, and I have just peeled a regular old russet potato. And let's see, I don't want the pieces too big, but I don't want them so small that they disintegrate. I think that's fine. So I'm going to see what it looks like in the bowl, and that's how much, let's see, that's 3 ounces. I'm going to have some eggs. Okay, let's do 3 ounces of potatoes. I think I'm going to do 5 bowls, so I need 15 ounces total. And I think the points in the app are cooked or uncooked. So the ounces, we'll see if any water cooks out, won't we, when we measure them. So let me go ahead and peel and dice these potatoes. All right, I have my oven preheated to 400. Put a piece of parchment paper down, and these are the parchment sheets that you get at the Reynolds Wrap at Dollar Tree. They're perfect for this 15 by 10 pan, and you can reuse them like if you make cookies. I've done that. This won't obviously be reusable, but I sprayed it with a little bit of avocado oil, this is avocado oil, just to be safe on the bottom. And then I'm going to spritz the top. And I don't count all that I do stuff like that with. I just don't. I'm not going to take the time or energy to measure it and see how much. I could throw a pointer, whatever, at it, but that's just one of the things I choose not to do on my journey. Because I don't see myself at 80 years old doing it. So, why bother now? So, what I am doing is hitting it with a little bit of my Paula Deen's house seasoning. I'm just going to kind of do them around. Now, I'm not sure, because these are kind of small, I'm not sure how long it's going to take them to roast. I'm thinking, they're potatoes, so it's not going to be that quick. At least a half hour, I'm guessing. So I will check them probably at the 20-minute mark just to see, give them a little stir, and I will let you know when mine get through how long they took. Okay, so here are the potatoes. They took 30 minutes. Oops, I'm sorry. And that's as brown as I want to get them, because I don't want them to be crispy, because I think they'll be tough when I heat them up in the microwave. So here are my potatoes. Now we're going to work on the eggs. And there's nothing to this but scrambling some eggs. I want 2 eggs per bowl. Extra protein for the extra egg. And I'm going to soft scramble it, because when I reheat it in the microwave, I don't want it to toughen up either. So I just want to beat these up really well. Okay, I started preheating my pan. And you can cook your eggs in whatever you want to cook your eggs in. I like mine in a little bacon grease. And y'all know, just like I don't count that all on the potatoes, I'm not counting this in my egg. Which I could, but I'm just not. Oh, it smells wonderful. So then we're just going to scramble these, like I said, until they are soft set. And then we'll be ready to put our bowls together. Now we'll put our bowls together. And I'm just going to try to eyeball evenly with the potatoes. I was dipping, didn't have anything on my spatula. Did you see that? Okay, now I'm going to try to evenly scoop out the eggs. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now we're going to add some cheese on top. And I only want to do half an ounce. Because a full ounce, that's too much. Half ounce might be too much, but nah. No, that's a good amount right there. Half ounce of cheese. I'm going to do that for all these. So there is our breakfast. Now, wasn't that easy? And very, very budget friendly. Very. So I'm through with this until the soup gets done, but that's what you'll see next. Okay, so the soup is ready. I'm going to turn it off. You can see how hot it is. Goodness gracious. Let's give it a little stir. And I have already weighed out 4 ounces of mozzarella cheese, shredded mozzarella cheese. And we're just going to add that. You can see it's been sitting there. I'm just going to add that in and just let the heat of the soup melt it while we are balling up our egg noodles. Now, I've got my water started. The recipe called for broken up lasagna noodles, and I made a notation on my website that next time I made this, I would make it with egg noodles. I said 8 ounces, but when I did the points, it was less points for 6 ounces. So that 2 ounces made a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to do, let's go over here and measure it out. I'm using wide egg noodles because that's what I bought for chicken noodles one day, and that's what we're having. So I want to do 6 ounces, and I think that's going to be way plenty for the soup. Oh, that's going to be way, because these are going to bulk up. I don't want it to be a pasta dish. I still want it to be soup. Let's do Let's do 5 ounces instead of 6. Whether it changes the points or not, I think that's going to be enough for that amount. I'm looking back there. Yeah. You can do more if you want a thicker soup, but I want it to be more of a soup than a pasta dish with sauce. So I'm going to stick with 5. Whenever the water gets up to the boil and everything, I'll just do my noodles and meet you back over at the soup. The cheese is all melted. You can see it gave it just a little bit of extra thickness to the soup. And then I'm going to add in my noodles. Now, I changed it in the app, and 5 ounces of noodles is the same as 6 ounces of noodles. It's the same points. So that's up to you. You can go more points if you want more noodles. You can use less noodles. You can do this however you want to do it. But that looks good to me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, my original recipe made 8 1.5 cup servings. I don't want a 1.5 cup serving. I want a 1 cup serving. So this makes 12 1 cup servings. And this spoon is a 1/2 cup. So, well, that's funny because this is a 2 cup bowl. And this is a 1/2 cup. Maybe I got it too full. A 1/2 cup spoon. Isn't that funny? Well, I know I'm measuring it right, so I'm not going to question it. This is a cup of soup. Now, the rest of this, I'm going to leave sitting out for mine and David's lunch today. And then, if there's any left, put it in the freezer, which there should be. But I don't know, the way this is measuring, I don't know that I'm going to get 12 more servings out of that. That makes no sense to me. This is a 1/2 cup scoop. I measured it right before we come on camera, just to make sure. This is a 1/2 cup scoop. You saw me put 2 of them. Did I put too much in the bowl? I'm not going to get another 7 servings out of this. I don't know what to do. And this is a 2 cup bowl. Let's go over there and talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it while we're looking at what we did today. So here are our country breakfast bowls. They are 5 points each, so I don't think that's too bad. And then here is our lasagna soup. And I'm telling you, this is a 2 cup bowl that looks like a 1.5 cups. But there's not going to be 8 1.5 cup servings. There's not going to be 12 1 cup servings, but this is a cup using my measuring serving spoon. So I don't really know what to do. I'm not dumping it all back out and reweighing it or measuring it or nothing like that. I'm not. So I'm just going to say, you make the soup and make the points be however yours measures out. Maybe there's just not as much soup as I thought there was. So I'm going to leave this at a cup just for me, and it's going to raise the points, so that's fine. I'm going to leave this at a cup. I'm going to see what's left in the pot, and that's how many servings I'm going to make this soup. And it's going to, because I had it at 7 points. If I got 12 1-cup servings, I had it at 5 points, and that's with the topping that we'll show in a minute. This way, it's not that many 1-cup servings, if you consider this a cup. So, which I am. So, my points are, I don't know, because I'm on my phone. And this is our topping. For the 8 servings, you get 2 tablespoons to top your soup with. And so that's calculated in with the recipe. And just keep this stored in the fridge and scoop it out after you warm it, and then scoop it out. Scoop the cold cheese onto the hot soup, and then it melts down in there. Ooh, really, really good. So there you have it. That is what I made this week. I hope if you're prepping something, you are prepping something good. And that'll do it for me today. I'm not sure when I'll be back, so I'll just see you when I see you.